Hey everyone, welcome to this deep dive. We're going to be looking at AI in 2025.
All right.
And to do that, we're going to be taking some insights from AI entrepreneur Liam Otley.
Liam Otley.
Yeah, you might have seen him on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
He's been helping thousands of people make the jump into AI.
Wow. Thousands.
Yeah, and he's got a really unique perspective on this.
Okay.
Basically, he categorizes how people should approach getting into AI based on what resources they have.
Resources.
Yeah,
Oh.
so like time or money.
So like time rich, cash poor, that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Oh.
So he's identified three categories.
Okay.
Time rich, cash poor.
Right.
Time poor, cash rich.
Okay.
And then this is the tricky one. Time poor, ain't cash poor.
The double whammy.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to find out which category we fit in and then how to approach getting into AI.
Yeah, the cool thing is that Liam's actually built a successful business. So he's not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk.
Oh, so we're going straight to the expert then.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So which one of these categories do you think you fit into?
I think I'm more on the time poor, cash rich, busy professional. Got to make that money work.
Yeah. I think a lot of people listening are probably in a similar boat.
I think so.
Okay, well, let's dive into the first group then.
Okay.
The time rich, cash poor.
All right.
This is for your students, your recent grads, basically anyone who's got the time to learn, but maybe not the money to invest.
Right. Makes sense.
So what does Liam say they should do?
Well, what does he say?
He says focus on building practical AI skills.
Practical.
Yeah, and specifically he says do it through self-study.
Okay. Self-study.
And guess what he thinks the best place to start is?
What's that?
AI automation.
Automation. Interesting. So even if you're not like a hardcore coder.
That's what's really cool about this.
Okay.
AI automation is actually becoming really accessible.
So how's that happening?
Well, we're seeing all these low-code and no-code platforms popping up.
No code. Like you don't even have to know how to code.
Pretty much.
Wow.
It's all drag, drop, configure. You don't need to write tons of code.
That's amazing. So you can actually build AI solutions without being like a coding whiz.
Exactly. And Liam has seen people do this.
Really? Like succeed with it?
Yeah. He's seen people actually build entire businesses this way without being expert developers.
Okay, that's impressive. So what does this learning path look like, for someone who's just starting out?
So he actually says to start with the basics.
Basics.
Yeah, like get a $20 Python course on Udemy.
$20. That's doable.
Right, just to get your feet wet.
Just a little intro.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you can jump into those no-code platforms.
Oh, yeah, those platforms we were talking about. Which ones does Liam recommend?
Well, he mentions a few, but some of the popular ones are Voiceflow,
Voiceflow,
Relevance AI,
Relevance AI,
and Vapi.
Vapi. All right. So what can you actually do with these platforms?
Well, each one kind of has its own specialty.
Gotcha. So like what?
Well, Voiceflow, for example, is all about conversational AI.
Yeah.
So you can actually create your own chatbot.
Oh, that's cool. Like a customer support bot or something?
Exactly.
Nice. What about those other ones?
Relevance AI, that's a good one for working with vectors.
Vector.
Yeah, they're like these mathematical representations of data.
Sounds complicated.
It is a bit,
Hmm.
but basically you can use them to find similar images
Oh, I see.
or recommend products. Like if you bought this, you might also like this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And Vapi. What's that one for?
Vapi is really cool.
What does it do?
You can create your own AI models without having to know a lot of complex math.
So like what kind of models are we talking about?
All sorts. It really depends on what you want to do.
All right, so you don't need to be a math whiz to use these platforms.
Exactly.
It's pretty awesome.
And the best part is, you don't need a ton of money to get started.
Yeah, that's key for this group, right? The time rich, cash poor.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not just about learning the tech.
Right. What else is there?
Liam really emphasizes getting real-world experience.
Real world experience. Okay, but how do you do that if you're just starting out,
Well, he recommends offering your services for free in online communities.
for free?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Well, think of it as an investment.
An investment. Okay.
Yeah, like you're building your portfolio.
Oh, I see.
You're showing people what you can do.
Showcasing your skills.
Exactly.
So then you can start getting paid work later on.
Right. So it's all about turning your time into valuable experience.
That makes a lot of sense.
So free work now for paid work later.
Yeah, I guess sometimes you got to give a little, get a little.
Okay, so that's the time-rich, cash-poor strategy. But what about if you're, a little more time-poor, but you have some cash to invest?
Right, like those busy professionals we were talking about earlier.
Exactly.
So what's Liam's advice for them?
He says invest in some paid AI education.
paid education. So you're basically trading your cash for like a shortcut to understanding the tech.
Yeah, and not just the tech itself, but also how businesses are using it.
Oh, that's important, right? Knowing how to apply it in the real world.
Exactly. He really hammers home that understanding AI use cases for businesses is where the opportunity is.
Yeah, that makes sense because at the end of the day, businesses want solutions, right?
Right. And they're willing to pay for them.
So if you can come in and say, hey, I know how to use AI to streamline your operations or whatever, you're speaking their language.
Exactly. You're bringing value to the table.
Okay, so paid AI education. But how do you know which programs are worth investing in?
That's a good question because, not all programs are created equal.
Definitely not. There's so much out there, it's hard to know where to start.
Right. And Liam actually admits that he's tried some programs and they've been duds.
Really? Even Liam?
Yeah. But, he has this analogy. He calls it the shotgun approach.
The shotgun approach. Okay. What's that?
It basically means you might have to try a few different programs before you find the one that really clicks.
Oh, I see. Like you're casting a wide net.
Exactly.
So you might not hit the bullseye right away.
Right. You got to kiss a few frogs.
Huh. I like that analogy.
But the point is, it's okay to invest in a few programs until you find the right fit.
Okay, that makes sense. But I guess it could get expensive trying all these different courses.
It definitely can. That's why it's important to do your research.
Research, okay?
Read reviews. Maybe start with one that focuses on a specific area of AI that you're interested in.
So you're not spreading yourself too thin.
Exactly. And see if they offer a free trial or a money-back guarantee.
Right, so you don't lose your entire investment if it's not a good fit.
But remember, the key takeaway here is that investing in these courses is about more than just the tech.
It's about what then?
It's about building the knowledge you need to communicate effectively about AI with others.
Ah, I see. So you're not just learning the technical stuff, you're learning how to talk about it too.
Exactly. You're basically becoming fluent in AI.
Like learning a new language.
And that's what opens doors to consulting opportunities.
Right, because if you can explain complex AI concepts in a way that anyone can understand, that's valuable.
Exactly.
So it's not just about being an AI expert, it's about being an AI communicator.
Right. And that's where Liam's advice on personal branding comes in.
Oh yeah, tell me about that.
He's a big advocate for building your personal brand, especially on platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, even Medium.
So you're basically positioning yourself as an AI thought leader.
Exactly.
But why is that so important? I mean, if you're trying to break into AI, why spend time creating content?
Liam's point is that by sharing your knowledge and insights, you're demonstrating your expertise.
Okay, you're showcasing what you know.
Right. You're building credibility.
This is like building an online resume.
Exactly. Every piece of content is like a deposit in your AI credibility bank.
I like that analogy.
And the cool thing is, it doesn't have to be super complicated.
Like, what kind of content are we talking about?
You could share short articles on LinkedIn about how AI is impacting your industry,
Okay.
or create quick explainer videos on YouTube.
So just bite-sized pieces of information.
Exactly.
So why is this kind of content so effective?
Well, Liam says that a lot of businesses are actually hungry for this kind of basic AI education.
Really? They are?
They know AI is important, but they don't know where to start.
Ah, so they need someone to guide them.
And that's where a consultant like you comes in.
Right, because I have that knowledge from those paid courses.
Exactly. You can help them understand the potential of AI, identify the right use cases for their business, even develop a roadmap for implementation.
Okay, that makes sense. But do you need to be a developer to do this kind of consulting?
Not necessarily.
Right.
Remember those no-code and low-code platforms we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Well, you can actually use your knowledge of those platforms to advise businesses on how to implement AI solutions without needing a huge team of engineers.
Oh, I see. So it's like you're bridging the gap between the tech and the business needs.
Exactly. You're an AI translator.
I like that. So it sounds like Liam really emphasizes the importance of understanding the business side of AI.
Yeah, and that's something he learned from experience.
Oh, how so?
Well, when he started his own AI agency, he was actually surprised to find that education and use case identification were often more important than just jumping into development.
Really? So it's not all about the coding.
Right. Businesses need to understand why they're using AI before they start building anything.
They need that strategic vision.
Exactly. And that's where those paid AI courses come in handy.
Right. They equip you with the knowledge and the skills to think about AI strategically.
Exactly. And even if you're super time poor, you can still make this work.
So how would you fit all of this in? with a busy schedule.
Liam suggests setting aside even just a couple hours a day for content creation and client outreach.
Okay, so even if you're working full-time, you can still build your AI consulting business on the side.
Exactly. And he's got some good ideas for how to monetize that expertise.
Like what?
Well, he suggests starting with a low-ticket consulting offer.
Low ticket, so something affordable.
Yeah, maybe $100 to $200 an hour.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Or you could create a basic AI course and sell it through your personal brand.
So you're leveraging your knowledge to generate income.
Right.
But it's not just about the short-term games, right?
No, Liam's actually thinking long-term here.
Okay, so what's the long game?
He talks about building relationships as a trusted AI advisor.
Oh, I see. So you become the go-to person for businesses looking to navigate the AI world.
Exactly. And he even suggests taking it a step further.
What's that?
Once you've established yourself as an advisor, you could partner with AI agencies to pass on leads for implementation.
Oh, that's interesting. So you're earning a commission without having to do the actual development work.
Right. It's a win-win for everyone.
The agency gets a qualified lead, the business gets their AI solution, and you get a cut of the fees.
Exactly. It's a pretty clever way to scale your impact and your income without getting bogged down in the technical details.
Yeah, I like that. So we've covered the time-rich, cash-poor approach and the time-poor, cash-rich approach. But what about the double whammy?
The time poor A&D, cash poor.
Yeah.
Liam doesn't sugarcoat it. He says this is the toughest position to be in.
Yeah, I can see why. It's like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Right. You need time to learn, but you also might need money to invest in courses.
So what's the solution?
Well, Liam's first piece of advice is to get resourceful.
Resourceful, okay.
He reminds us that there are actually tons of free resources available online.
Free resources? Like what?
Think YouTube tutorials, blog posts, even open source code libraries.
Oh, right. So you can actually learn a lot without spending any money.
Exactly. You know, it's funny because Liam actually started his AI journey this way.
He did.
Yeah, he was just watching YouTube videos, reading blog posts, figuring things out on his own.
Wow, so he's living proof that you don't need a fancy degree or a ton of money to get started.
Exactly.
So besides those free resources, what else does Liam recommend?
Well, he also suggests building small automations for personal use.
Personal automations. Okay, so like what?
Think of tasks in your daily life that you could automate. Maybe a script that sorts your emails,
Oh, yeah, that would be helpful.
or a chatbot that manages your to-do list.
Interesting. So it's like you're building your own little AI assistant.
Exactly. And not only are you learning valuable skills, but you're also making your life easier.
Right, so it's a win-win.
And here's another brilliant strategy. Look for internal AI projects at work.
Internal projects.
Yeah. Even if your current role isn't directly related to AI, there might be opportunities to use AI within your department.
To like improve processes or something?
Exactly.
Okay, that's a really smart way to gain experience.
And build credibility within your company.
So it's like you're planting seeds for future AI opportunities.
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
you know, Liam actually shares this great story about a student who did this.
Really? What happened?
This student, his name was Hamza. He was working a part-time job.
Okay.
And he noticed that his company was spending hours manually entering data into spreadsheets.
Oh, that sounds tedious.
Right. So Hamza, he took the initiative to build an AI-powered automation that did the job in minutes.
Wow. So he basically saved the company a ton of time.
Exactly. And he got recognition for his AI skills.
That's awesome.
And you know what? That little project actually opened doors for him to get more involved in AI at his company.
So it's a great example of how even small projects can make a big difference.
Exactly. And Liam encourages people to share these projects online.
Oh, yeah, like on LinkedIn or something.
Yeah, if their job allows it.
Right, because
Yeah.
it's all about building that AI credibility bank.
Exactly. And it could even lead to, you know, a full-time AI role or a side hustle.
So all of these strategies, whether you're time-rich, cash-poor, or time-poor, cash-poor, they're all about building momentum.
Exactly. It's about taking action and positioning yourself for success in the AI world.
And I think that's a really powerful message for our listeners.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, you know, different approaches for different situations.
Yeah, a lot of great advice from Liam.
What do you think is the most important takeaway for our listener?
That's a good question.
Yeah, what's that one golden nugget they should remember?
I think it's Liam's emphasis on self-motivation. You know, taking action.
Yeah, I agree.
It's easy to get caught up in all the hype around AI.
Right, to feel overwhelmed.
But Liam's story shows that success really comes down to consistent effort.
Yeah, like you don't have to be a genius or have a ton of money.
Exactly.
It's about putting in the work.
And not being afraid to experiment.
Yeah, try different things, see what works for you.
There's no one right way to get into AI.
Right, it's a constantly evolving field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So be curious, stay adaptable,
Yeah, embrace the learning process.
because the AI revolution is happening now.
And it's full of opportunities.
But it's up to each of us to seize those opportunities.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave our listener with this thought.
Okay.
What's one small step you can take today
One small step.
to start building your AI skill set or exploring opportunities in your current role?
Yeah, what's that one thing you can do right now to get started?
Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just take that first step.
And remember Liam's story.
Yeah, he started from nothing.
And he built a successful AI business.
So it's definitely possible.
It is. With hard work, dedication, and a willingness to learn, you can achieve anything in AI.
And that's it for our deep dive into AI in 2025.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
We'll see you next time.